The records are now open. Welcome, everyone. Linda Addington already in the house. So good to see you. Say hello once you get here. I got my screen adjusted just a little bit so you can definitely check out the bottom of my dress here. Basically wearing an adult tutu. Hanging out here in my adult tutu, just waiting for you all to join me. I want to welcome you visionaries and thought leaders into this sacred classroom. Your higher self has brought you into this space, and this space is especially curated for you, visionaries, thought leaders. You know how important your perspective is, how you perceive yourself, your life, your problems, your challenges, what is possible for you. This shapes your reality. You know that the thoughts that you think are shaping your reality. And right now, we are on the forefront of what can feel like an ever changing landscape. Our visionaries and thought leaders need special tools and skills, like expanded vision so that you can see beyond what is obvious. Why is it so important for you to see beyond what is obvious? Because we are in a time of planetary evolution right now. It's actually not just our planet that's evolving, but the entire universe, the entire galaxy, our entire solar system is evolving right now. We are aligning to galactic center, which is bombarding us with photons of light that are up-leveling, waking up the dormant strands of DNA. So we're getting access to more and more of our superpowers, all right? More and more of our ability to create on purpose with our thoughts, with our vibrations. Our vibrational frequency is up-leveling. It's making us kinder to one another. We're tapping into the power of collaboration over competition. I was searching for that word collaboration there. Collaboration over competition, which is strengthening us as a collective, and it's creating a really unique opportunity to timeline jump into the timeline. You could also look at this as a parallel reality of your highest vibrational potentiality. Okay, how many of you are tired of hearing the doom and gloom that's happening in our world? You are not going to get that here. You're not going to get that story here at the Akashic Academy. Because let me just break it down and keep it super simple for you. Fear and potential are the same energies exercised in opposite directions. So in this space, we are going to focus on potential and what we can do in this powerful time of shift. Give me an amen if you're feeling it up in here. If you're ready to be empowered, if you're ready to turn on gifts and skills of your DNA that are going to help you during this time of evolution, right? What happens when you get to jump into your highest timeline? Again, let me just keep it super simple, break it down very basically. What happens when you're in your highest timeline? It's all about vibrational frequency. You stop vibrating to your trauma, your lack, your confusion, and you start vibrating to your creativity and your highest genius. Interestingly, this is also how you get there. You stop vibrating to your trauma, you start vibrating to your genius. But in order to do that, we have to think through higher minds. So this is the biggest challenge that we're experiencing, is that most of us are still thinking through our human mind. And your human mind is what's going to perceive the lack and limitation. It's when you drop down into heart mind or universal intelligence, universal consciousness. That's what science is calling it these days. I was trained in the ancient esoteric lineage, the name known as the Akashic Records, but this Akashic field, this access to all intelligence, past, present, all possible futures, from a neutral perspective, is the key, is the tool that when we begin perceiving ourselves and our problems through this higher mind, the game changes, because you're going to see the patterns that are playing out that are causing this. It's going to make it much easier for you to fix things in your life. And you're also going to start getting creative ideas that are your way out of whatever lack and oppression that you're experiencing right now, and your way into the life that you've dreamed about living. That dream that you have for your life is possible for you, and it's happening actually on another dimensional timeline. So if you want to figure out how to get to that dimensional timeline, you got to raise your vibrational frequency. All right. If you have not already said hello to me, like Gio and Kevin and Lisanne, and I am crazy. Rifter joining us on Instagram. We've got Lynn Armstrong. Georgie, if you have not yet said hello to me, please say hello. Let me know where you're tuning in from. I want to invite everybody to begin to picture these pinpoints of light all over our planet, connected. Okay, I'm coming to you from the high Sierras in Nevada. This grid structure that we're tapping into right now with our vision is going to be part of the technology we use to transmit knowledge and support for each other today. Okay? Right on. Oxoc coming in from Brazil. I love it. Thank you for being here. Germany. Oh my gosh. Excellent. Yes, we are illuminating all over the globe. Las Vegas. Linda and I anchoring it here in Nevada for y'all. Okay. We are going to jam for the next half hour here in the Akashic Records. My name is Emily Harrison. If this is the first time we are having the pleasure to meet, I am the founder director here inside the Akashic Academy, and I train visionaries and thought leaders how to read their Akashic Records so they have instantaneous access to wisdom, guidance, clarity. You can shift out of your trauma and shift into your highest creative genius. Not just going into a session, by the way, like having a session with your Akashic Records or going into see your favorite psychic or your favorite astrologer. I love all of these different divination tools, but the Akashic Records is designed to become a channel that's constantly connected for you. So you actually will eventually begin to perceive all aspects of your life through your Akashic Records, not just when you go into a state of meditation and asking questions in that very, reverent, ritualistic way, which is a great way to operate. But it's also very cool when this illuminates in your DNA, so it's on default mode for you. All right. So we're going to get rocking and rolling here in the house. Send some love like hearts across the screen. I'm excited for you all to experience the power of the Akashic Records today and timeline jumping. This has been a personal tool and key to freedom for me, taking me from food stamps to fortune. If you don't know about my own personal experience with the Akashic Records, and I'm excited for you guys to have an experience too. So let me invite you to start lighting up my chat box with questions anywhere in your life where you are experiencing a problem or a challenge. Okay, we want to eliminate as many of these repetitive problems, challenges, low vibrational aspects of our life as possible. Okay, maybe it's just a place where you feel depressed or low in your energy, in your own energy field. These are all opportunities to get more resourceful in our life. They're very important for us to examine right now. So let's dive into your questions and all receive some healing here together. A couple more things that I want to share with you are, even if I don't choose your individual question, ask away, okay? Because just you asking in this sacred space will invite the intelligence forward, maybe through someone else's question that I'm drawn to, or through your own life as you go throughout your day the next couple days. You will get an answer to your question. So I encourage you to ask the questions. I also encourage you to receive answers. Even if I'm answering someone else's question, you feel like, oh, that's what I needed to hear. That is for you. It is a transmission coming through from your Akashic Records designed to give you a vibrational shift. So go ahead and receive whatever feels good to you. You don't have to receive anything that doesn't feel aligned for you. You get to be in charge. All right. It's all about self-leadership up in this space. All right. So we're going to get going here. Hi, Mama Werewolf. Yes, the Akashic Academy is really a bitch slap, a great experience. Yes, thank you for saying that, because that bitch slap that you're referring to has to do with taking personal responsibility and being able to see what we're not seeing, not about everybody else's shit out there, okay? About your own, because you have so much power if you work within your own microcosm and you shift vibrational things in your own microcosm. What you notice, what you experience, what you see on the outside will change. But if you start with the outside and you just look at the outside and you're like, damn, it's bad out there, you're going to self-sabotage because it feels like it's bad out there. That's not my problem. I'll tell you why it's bad out there is because you have aspects of whatever you're deeming or judging as bad out there or undesirable out there in the world is still within you somewhere. So if you can work within and eliminate it, you're not going to see it out there in the world anymore. And yes, in the beginning it feels like a bitch slap, but we make enough jokes and laugh at ourselves enough along the way that it actually gets pretty fun. All right, Gio, how can I manifest accessing the Akashic Records with Emily? Well, I would love all of you who feel the desire and inclination to manifest that experience to get that. All right, so let me see what the guides have to say about that. Anybody else interested in this, by the way? And how many of you have studied with me before? I see actually a lot of my students out here today. All right, so if you want to manifest training, the guides actually want me to answer, taking me out of it, because the guides want you to just because some of you actually might not be drawn to work with me, but you might be drawn to work or train in another philosophy, I'll say. I feel like we've got some people who have maybe been contemplating Reiki out there. Any Reikiers that I'm picking up on? Or there's another one that's coming in strong. Actually, theta healing is coming in. I don't know if anybody's contemplating that one. Or human design, that's another big one. So I want to be able to facilitate this activation, this transmission for whatever your desire is and where you're being pulled to learn and grow. Okay? All right. All right, the guides are talking about what we give up in order to get something in our life. Okay. Oh, Linda's got human design, is very cool. Cool. Reiki master. All right. I'm definitely picking up on y'all's energy up in here too. Oh, and are you allowed to access the records while pregnant? Yes, you can access the Akashic Records while pregnant. All right. So for anybody who feels the desire to train, there is a process of looking at what we give up or how we create space in our life in order to receive or fill back up with the intelligence, the information, the new vibration that we want. All right. And so the challenge that holds a lot of people back right now is looking at themselves as already full. Like a lot of times we have to, not a lot of times, all the time, we're going to have to give up time somewhere. All right. We're going to have to give up resources, money, or exchange, whatever the setup is for you. There is an exchange of reciprocity and energy, of time and resource that must happen. So what the guides are saying is that if you are feeling called into training in an ancient wisdom modality or module. Module's not really the right word. Modality is better. Lineage. I was looking for something even more powerful. A lineage. The guides want you to know you've likely been a master of this lineage before in other timelines, in past lives or in future lives. So it's going to feel very much like you're waking up to something brand new. It's also designed to be a part of your timeline shift, this moving into higher timelines. Okay. And you want to think about the space you create in your life for what's new and what's coming in. All right. So you got to think about what right now is filling up the space or taking up the space of the time that you could be studying with me or some other teacher. What's taking up the resources in your life where you could invest with training with me in your Akashic Records, or you could invest in training with another teacher? and examine those things. What's taking up my time? You might find that you've got massive time leaks. You lose a lot of time watching reality TV, or you lose a lot of time scrolling. Okay, having time leaks and not mastering our time will ripple into a lot of areas of your life. There is incredible impact to this. You guys want everyone to begin to see the impact of time leaks in our life. Like, seriously, you can watch too much reality TV, feel very drained, energetically drained because of it. Maybe you took on some drama or some conflict that's vibrating in your field. That's not going to cause you to feel more withdrawn, repressed, agitated. You might not even go out to the family picnic. You might bail, stay home. Or if you do go out and you go into public with friends or family in that agitated state, maybe you act like an asshole. I knew I shouldn't have gone out. And then you feel like, I'm not going to hang out with those friends anyway. So important just to care for our energy field because it can ripple so quickly. All right. If you feel like your time is not something that you are mastering, this is located somewhere in your quantum field, likely in childhood trauma areas and places. Okay. Let's see, there's one other thing in there too. Oh yes, resources. We've got to look at where we are spending our resources. A lot of us feel like, okay, well, when I get more money, then I will XYZ. Actually, what you want to do is flip it. You want to, when I XYZ, I will get more money. That's the key. So if you're in a place when I get more time, then I'm going to train my Akashic Records. No, when I train in my Akashic Records, I will get more time. When I get more money, I'm going to take that Reiki class. No, when I take the Reiki class, I'm going to make more money. Okay. The guides want to bring in an activation for vision so you all can begin to see these patterns that are playing out in so many different areas of their life, our lives, and how they're really impacting us. Good. If you want to receive that third eye activation, expanding your vision, type in yes. Now, this is not only going to help you see the impact of your own patterns in your life, but you're also going to begin to see new solutions. You're going to begin to see yourself differently. In essence, this is an aspect of reading the Akashic Records. So y'all should get just a little bit better at reading your Akashic Records today, just by hanging out here. All right. Cool. All right. Send some love, likes, hearts across the screen if that was valuable to you. And let's dive in here to another question. Aksak, can movies turn off our psychic skills? Cool question. As a child, I love horror movies and it can imprint unconscious fears or entities. Can it may be affecting until today? Most of my dreams are unconscious ones. Yes. Wow. All right. Fantastic question. Oh, I am so happy that you are here today. Thank you for asking that question. Storytelling and our imagination is a very, very important topic. Nothing in our life has meaning until we assign meaning to it or we assign value to it. Okay, everything is neutral until we assign value, and we assign value through our story. That's why it's so important that humans talk about story, the importance of our story. It's also why you need to understand the power of storytelling and what stories you're tapping into, because storytellers in Hollywood especially set the vibrational frequency for what we're willing to receive in our imagination, say, oh, that could really happen, or no, that's too far-fetched, that wouldn't happen. Okay. So story is incredibly, incredibly powerful. All right, so let me tap in here and see. Definitely anytime we're afraid, by the way, the human body's response is to, the guy just showed me, to shrink back, to put up almost like a shell, a wall. Think of that. And if being very sensitive, and I think that's why you were drawn to those horror movies as a kid, the guys are saying, oh, it's because you had psychic skills. And that was it. It's not, it doesn't feel like it was really talked about in your family very openly, but this was a genre where you were at least getting a connection with that energy. You weren't getting the truth and the highest light of it and how to use it, but you were getting a connection into that energy. Heck yeah, scaring can shut it down. And the guides are saying that fear response of shutting down and pulling back and shrinking anytime we feel small, pretty, I'm going to say it's normal, meaning a lot of humans feel it and experience it. And wow, so easy to get our field to get distorted in this modern day life. But unfortunately, what happens over generations of us shutting down those sensitivities, we create a society that is desensitized, which is why we can now watch so much violence without losing it. You know what I mean? So the challenge is really, first of all, recognizing the importance of staying soft, staying sensitive, and working on bringing that back, inviting that back into our being to be part of who we are. Guys, if you want to take part in this activation, go ahead and say yes right now. We're going to work on the heart energy here. We're going to invite softness, sensitivity back. Okay, now after heart, we're going to drop down into root chakra, to the base of your spine. This is where the safety comes in so that we can feel safe, being sensitive, being open again. Okay. And when we're sensitive, when we're open, then we can perceive with the heart mind. We can perceive with universal consciousness, universal intelligence. When we're rigid and closed off, we really can only have access to our human mind, which is going to show us lack and limitation. All right. And again, learning to read the Akashic Records, learning to stay connected to your Akashic Records is going to help you instantly see when you're processing through lower vibrational frequencies or what is less than possible for you. Okay. And you're going to start vibrating with higher minds. And you're going to start to see very easily what is possible for you, even if it is scary. Okay. And by the way, the smarter we are, that doesn't mean that we get less scared. All right. Oh, one of my clients that I want to tell you a quick story about has multiple degrees and I'm not going to say multiple PhDs, but definitely master's degrees. Okay. Had an entire practice of clinical social work set up and thriving in this practice. Just think about that. Think about how much time and resource, value, right? Blood, sweat, and tears it takes to create that. I'm talking decades to create. And she found that she plateaued with healing with her clients through Western methods. So she came to me. I taught her the Akashic Records. Her name's Laura. Then Laura started teaching her clients the Akashic Records. She basically got so brave, so charged with this new timeline that she said, screw the amount of time that I've spent in the old timeline. And she also knows that it's not really screw all of the old. All of that time you put in the mailroom comes with you. It gets to come with you into the next timeline. All right, this is an interesting area of evolution. Part of our evolution as humans. Right now, there are some children being born into our planet that are fully awake and remember their past lives. I can access my past lives. I don't have full memory to them. I don't remember being born into this planet with them awake. Okay. Most of us are in a place of forgetting and remembering and in the process of waking up. All right. How we're going to increase that skill for our next full incarnation is how we're dealing with our mini incarnations in this lifetime, because we're truly living many different lives in this lifetime. I lived a former life as a Hollywood actress before my life shifted into this timeline. But I get to bring all of that I learned, and it's really, you might not think that Hollywood is good boot camp for spiritual evolution, but we'll get into that some other day. It definitely is. But just like, think about channeling though. I have to get out of my own way. Emily has to go sit down over here and stop judging herself. And I have to tap into a frequency of a character and let that character begin to speak through me. It's really the same, except I'm not tapping into a character. I'm tapping into source energy, the all that is. That's what the Akash is. Akash is Sanskrit for ether. It means all that is. Okay, there was something, I went off on a little tangent there. Can't remember what else I was going to say about that. All right, let me just see where the guides wanted to bring. Back to Laura. So Laura shut down her entire practice of clinical therapy and social work, and she started training her clients in the Akashic Records. They wanted to learn how to read their own records, so she set up a training program for them. And I can't remember the exact numbers, but it got pretty mind-boggling. Something like a $70,000 launch on her first launch. So this is what can happen as you learn to step into these timelines of higher purpose. Okay? All right, let me grab one more question here. Send some love light cards across the screen, if that's landing for you. If you feel that fear, maybe. I'd like to know that too. Does anybody feel like you're being called into a shift or a new timeline that looks like a new job or a completely new relationship, and it is bringing up that human fear? That can definitely happen. Let me know. I'll be holding space for you guys. Okay. Oh, says my body is trembling a lot. Many vibrations passing. Cool. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, you can release a lot of that fear. All right, let's grab one more question. Geos. Oh, we already asked that one. Let's see. All right, who's got more questions for me? Fire up my chat box with some questions. My chat box. Okay, Linda. Linda says, I tend to start many things and not finish. This leads to overwhelm and where to focus. Then I am frozen, not moving forward. I love to learn and have many interests. Any advice? Yes, I feel you there. Any other lovers of learning out there? I am totally with you, Linda. I love to learn a lot of things, which is actually one of the reasons that I chose the Akashic Records as my area of study of what direction that I was going to go in when I was like, all right, I feel like I want to help people with energy. Like, what's it going to be? I was interested in everything. So the records made sense for me. The records, again, hold all intelligence, past, present, all possible futures, recorded from a neutral perspective. So that's why I picked that one. And then I also find that through the Akashic Records, I was able to tap into my unique genius and put my unique spin on things in a way that I am so activated and passionate in my timeline. I was just talking to my oldest son about this the other day because he said to me, he's like, Mom, it's really amazing that you do what you do and that you don't get bored. And I said, yeah, you're right, Jack. I don't get bored. And I've actually noticed in my other entrepreneur friends and visionary friends, sometimes they get bored with what they're doing. And not to say that getting bored is a bad thing, but I've noticed that sometimes you get bored and you need to pivot, you need to shift, or the economy changes, you need to pivot, you need to shift. Pivot. I have never felt that. It has been Akashic Records teach people to tap into universal intelligence so that we can all vibrate to this higher frequency of our own consciousness and potentiality. I want to live in a world where everybody gets it. So I haven't found that I get bored. And it's very clear to me how I get to uniquely carve and create. And it's the same for everybody. It's about following our passion. And you get to make up what you love what it looks like for you. Not everybody might not like putting on your adult tutus and sitting in your office and turning all your camera lights on and hanging out with a bunch of people live. You may have another way you want to do it. You may want to write a book. You may, and I say just, but it's not just. This work is so important. You may need to fix yourself and your family, and you want to love your family more and be more connected and deep and passionate and alive as a mother or as a father, or as a legacy vision keeper here on the planet. Maybe you want to create a foundation or a nonprofit. Whatever it is that you feel in your heart that you are meant to do, there are thoughts that are going to match that timeline. There are emotions that will match that timeline. And if you can understand what those things are, that's the code. That is the vibrational frequency code that your Akashic Records will break down for you so that you can jump timelines. All right, let's see. We have one more question up here on Instagram. I am canine crazy. How do I understand the messages that are being received through my ears ringing? Excellent. Okay. How we understand messages being received through any aspect of our clairs, whether it's your clairaudience, that's your inner hearing. Clairvoyance is clear inner seeing. That's visuals you get in your imagination or colors that come in. There's also clairsentience. That's clear inner feeling. Sensation in the body. It's the goosies, it's the chills. It can be hot energy, pulsation, or claircognizance. That's clair-knowing. These are your four main clairs. You do have more clairs than this, but your four main clairs are a great place to start. And this is how you're actually going to communicate in the Akashic Records. Okay. If you're watching on Instagram, after we finish this broadcast, you can go up to my link tree and you can find a free training, a free gift that I want to share with you guys called Intuitive Development. Let's see. Let me pull it up quickly here for you guys who are hanging with me on StreamYard. Give me 1 second. I didn't have this pulled up ready to go before we started. Sorry about that. But I do want to share this with you because it is an awesome training. And this is where you're going to want to start for learning how to read your own Akashic Records, which, by the way, you can come to me for. You can Google, you can find other teachers. You can begin to just start asking questions. You will find your way through this process. I would be more than delighted to help you and teach you the tricks of the trade that I have learned and share my expertise with you. But the most important thing is to start asking questions, because you will begin to receive answers and your innate intelligence, your intuition will guide you. Okay, but you have to know how to receive the messages, because it's not a language of communication as the same. I was going to say as clear, but for some of you, actually, it's getting as clear as I'm talking with you, actually talking to myself with you, with myself and you in my tutu. It's not as clear as that always. It's a subtle energy. It's an impression. It's your imagination. So you got to work your imagination and get your imagination sharper. And this training will break it down super easy. The whole thing is 30 minutes. You can do the repeatable exercises in less than 2 minutes a day to keep yourself sharp. All right. All right. Give me one final blow up of love like hearts across the screen. I have loved spending time here with you all today. Share this training with someone in your life. If there's someone that you know that could use this introduction to aspects of your subtle body that are going to increase your consciousness, increase your awareness, make you more powerful in this time of evolution, share this training. All right. That is your mission, should you choose to accept it. Thank you all for being here. I love Wednesdays with you, and I'll see you back here next week.